more and more people are being exposed to the energetic, vibrant and politically charged music of Songhoy Blues. The desert rock group hailing from Mali have generated a great deal of buzz with their unique blend of West African music with blues, rock and more. Although groups that are reductively labelled as world music often struggle to gain international recognition, Songhoy Blues have steadily worked their way into the public eye and have even played at festivals as big as Latitude, Primavera and Glastonbury. The band came together in 2012 under tumultuous circumstances in Mali. The rise of jihadist forces caused guitarist Garba Touré to head south to the country's capital, Bamako. There he would meet with vocalist Aliou Touré, bassist Oumar Touré, and eventually drummer Nathaniel Dembele. They decided to form Songhoy Blues, with the word Songhoy referring to an ethnic group of people that inhabits parts of West Africa, and blues of course referring to the musical genre. Soon after their formation, the group crossed paths with Nick Zinner, guitarist for the American rock group the Yeah Yeah Yeahs. After early collaborations together proved fruitful, Zinner helped produce the band's first full-length LP in 2015, Music in Exile. The album was very well received and Songhoy Blues were labelled as a band to watch by The Guardian, and the record was included in the top 50 releases of the year by Rolling Stone. The album's assured identity as an amalgam of blues, rock and Songhay music was undoubtedly one of the primary factors of its success. 2 years later, their follow-up, Resistance, was a distinctly more ambitious effort, with the band developing their sound and music production in the hope of reaching a larger audience. It was even endorsed by the feature appearance of Iggy Pop on one of the standout tracks on the album, Sahara. Without completely departing from the sound they'd sculpted out on their debut LP, Songhoy Blues incorporated elements of disco, funk and even hard rock on their latest record. When analysing a band's musical style, investigating their musical influences is always a great place to start. So the first name that should be mentioned when discussing the musical roots of Songhoy Blues is Ali Farka Touré. Touré is generally regarded as one of the best musicians to ever come out of Africa, and is even considered one of the greatest guitarists of all time by Rolling Stone. The frontman Aliou Touré even says that he's often called the Malian answer to Jimi Hendrix, but in reality he was so much more than that because he lifted Malian music to a whole other level. His legendary status in Mali was always going to be a huge influence on the group, and there are no doubt echoes of his musical style in Songhoy Blues' work. Just take a listen to how aesthetically similar these two pieces are. There are no doubt compositional similarities between the two pieces of music, but a more specific idiosyncrasy that both artists have in common is their frequent use of typical West African rhythms and time signatures. A lot of the traditional music to come out of this region is usually composed in a 6/8 or 12/8 time signature. Let's have a quick listen to a couple of examples. So this is just one example of how Songhoy Blues are able to blend aspects of traditional Malian music with other genres and structures to create something innovative. The other key side of Songhoy Blues' musical DNA is of course American blues music, more specifically one of the genre's icons, B.B. King, who is often cited as a major influence by the band. Although the compositional structure of blues music isn't present in the group's body of work, I would say it's more King's style of playing and the tone of his guitar that had a great effect on the group's lead guitarist Garba Touré. Just take a listen to how similar these two tracks sound. group added to the growing melting pot of genres and styles on their second album by integrating elements of funk and disco into their sound. A great example of this is Bamako, which has an inherently funk-based composition. The use of horns and synths are indicative of funk music from the 70s and 80s, not to mention the quintessentially funky strumming pattern of the rhythm guitar. Songhoy Blues' musical roots clearly run deep, but they're still able to blend these structures together to make something that feels fresh and new. And this is aided by the striking lyricism, laden with socio-political and cultural messages, often pertaining to Mali. The title of one of the tracks, Yersi Yada, for example, translates to "We don't agree," and is about the ongoing power struggle between political groups in Mali. In an interview with The Quietus, Aliou Touré goes on to explain the meaning behind some of the band's other songs. In the track Mali, it is really a picture of the country at the moment, and I'm using the first president of Mali, Modibo Keïta, and I'm asking what he would think about what Mali has become now. So this is really a picture of what Mali is today, so I would not say it is that optimistic. Foreign musical acts sometimes struggle to enter into mainstream music, but Songhoy Blues are thriving. I hope the recognition they're receiving both commercially and critically drives them to grow even more as a band, and I have a feeling they'll continue to attract collaborators of a similar stature to Iggy Pop. Hey guys, thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share and subscribe. And if you want to hear more from me, you can find me on Twitter with the handle @beat_channel. If you want to support the channel, then please click on the link to my Ko-fi page in the description where you can donate to help me make more and better videos. Thanks again.